The weave is broken. Those of might and magic are falling. Factions fly to fill the vacuum of power as the spell plague brings destruction across the Forgotten Realms. Two heroes meet in the abandoned ruins of the Sword Coast town of Leylon. Women skilled in sword and sorcery, upon whose shoulders rest the fate of the entire Forgotten Realms.
Wait. Is he talking about us?
I sure hope not, because that sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Oh, gods.
Hello and welcome to Best Left Forgotten, the deliberately uncanon and unofficial Forgotten Realms D&D actual play podcast. My name is Nathan Quadrio, and I am your Dungeon Master.
My name is Miriam Feats, and I play Clarrybelle Trollbleeder, the Dwarven Barbarian Fighter.
My name is Jess Wolfendale, and I play Flick Gullkind, the Gnome Druid.
In case you'd forgotten, Flick and Clarrybelle jumped through a portal with Callie and Daisy to find themselves back in the Leylon Mines and face to face with Zaz Tam. The girls were wary, but struck a tentative deal with Zaz to go and investigate the mysterious tower of Thalavar near Hallwinter to discover possible secrets about the spell plague Zaz assured them were hiding within. Clarrybelle, worried about the danger the tower posed, suggested that Daisy stay behind to keep safe, and after a tense argument between the couple, Daisy insisted that she come along on the mission. Flick, Clarrybelle, Daisy, Callie, and Toby all made their way to the tower, leaving Zaz behind in the mines. The party broke in the front door and solved a maze of identical small rooms. The excitement seemed to settle some of the tension between Clarrybelle and Daisy, while Flick and Callie grew closer in the maze. As the party reached the top of the tower, they discovered Thalavar, champion of the god Helm, who had been overrun by the spell plague many years ago and had trapped himself in the tower to contain it. Flick reached out to try and remove the spell plague from Thalavar, but, for the first time, the power proved too great for her. Through the swirl of magic, the party saw a vision of Helm that implored them to save Mystra, and when the vision faded, the spell plague had, once again, left its mark on Flick Goldkind. Let's jump right in. Flick rises from the flames as the vision of Helm melts into the air. In the slowly diminishing flames stands Flick as Clarrybelle you once knew her. Perhaps slightly taller and maybe with paler skin, but the same figure is there. There's a moment of deathly silence that hangs in the air. And then Flick takes a deep breath in. Her form flickers slightly, and a blurred shadow of a physical self seems to follow just a moment behind her. Thousands of tiny, slit-like scars open up on her skin, and blue flame roars inside. Her right hand has returned to its physical form, but a whispery memory of its tentacle form can be seen flicking and searching like the tongue of a snake. As she breathes out, steam or smoke, you're not quite sure, fills the air in front of her. Some small motes of flame seep out of the now closing scars and wisp away like tiny stars. Well, I feel like there's a story here that we, Flick? Hello?
Flick, are you still in there?
Yeah?
How do you feel?
Vindicated? Because, just saying, exactly what I predicted would happen.
Just while we're sort of having this moment, I'd like to just take stock. One, you said Flick's shadow was flickering, and wasn't Thalavar's shadow doing something weird last episode? So I just want to suss the shadow situation, and I also want to get an eye on Thalavar as well.
What you see is kind of like a secondary motion just a minute behind of everything that Flick does. If she moves to the left, there's kind of a shadow that follows shortly after. It seems to be mostly Flick, except for that one tentacled hand that still remains.
Yeah. So the tentacle's not on Flick, but is still in the shadow.
Correct.
Great.
You look behind Flick, and Thalavar is gone. But lying in his place is a massive golden sword.
All right. So how much did you hear from the big giant god that kind of manifested in the room for 30 seconds and then disappeared straight after?
None of it, but I'm going to assume that means that something happened at least.
Yeah, you kind of did your thing, and then like a god kind of just showed up, but he wasn't like, he was kind of like more like a shadow or a
Yes.
Yeah, and he said stuff about Mistra and that we should save her, and I think he also mentioned Gonalgrim.
Yes, and a tear.
Yeah,
A tear, the star.
a light
gem
from a star or something.
of Mistra that fell.
Yeah,
That fell from him, I think. It was her star? Or
Maybe.
his star?
I'd want to, I know this sounds awful. Zaz probably would know more about it. But yeah, and then I don't know if you've looked, but Thalvar's not there anymore. And I'll point the sword out to Flick.
I think Flick goes to turn around but kind of stumbles a bit.
I'll reach out to support you.
No, don't. We don't know yet what's happened.
I touch her on the shoulder.
Stop it.
It's fine.
You just touch her on the shoulder and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I poke her a few more times.
Hey, this could be dangerous.
I'm fine right now.
Yeah, now.
As you poke, flames start to pour out of the scars.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So gentle touches for Flick.
Okay. I know you really want to pick up that sword right now, so please feel free.
Well,
I'll be right here.
Can you? Okay,
It's
this
not
is
really for us either. I mean, I'm not really a big sword kind of person.
well. This is maybe a bad time to ask you to do something else, but don't you have a magix that lets you know what things are?
You know,
Just-
Clarrybelle, I think that, you should really listen to the first part of that sentence. I mean, I can't, none of us here can control Flick's behavior, but it would seem that she's been through quite a lot. Maybe we should all take a moment.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Yeah. And I'll just sit down exactly where I am.
Well,
You're still here. That's a positive. And Callie kind of walks up to you very nervously.
that's maybe still a TBC on the net positive thing there, Callie. We don't know how long.
How long you're going to be alive?
Yeah. Thank you for saying it. I felt a bit awkward.
I feel like there's some. Do you think you're going to die?
I mean, this is going to sound so dramatic. In a way, I don't feel totally alive now.
Oh.
Maybe it's just the magic drain, but I don't know, something's missing.
Well, we're all still here. And we're here with you and for you. And we're not going to ask anything of you more than you want to do.
Clarrybelle's just sitting on the ground. She's not looking at anybody. And she is just like starting to very silently cry.
And we're just going to let you take it at your speed.
Okay, my speed is going to be going and standing over the other side of the room.
Okay.
And when you guys are ready to go, I will sort of maybe follow if I haven't blown everyone up by then.
Would you like a glass of water? And she kind of druid crafts a cup and pours some druid water into this druid craft cup.
Can I offer you some refreshment in this trying time? Sure.
Would you be more comfortable if I'll put it on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll need like a platter to pass back and forth.
Yeah, I'd try to pick up the glass of water.
Okay. Pick up the glass of water.
It's not like melting in my hand or anything.
No, why would it melt in your hand?
I'm scared.
I'm so scared.
So scared.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then I just sort of back up into a corner
Mm-hmm.
and think about my life choices.
Do you drink the water?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
And steam begins to pour out.
Go ahead and put that down.
You do feel a thirst has been quenched.
Cool.
Clarrybelle's
Your turn.
got no idea what to do.
Pick up the sword. Pick up the sword.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
no, because it's such a. I'm fighting with my wife, and I don't really know
What's
how
Daisy
to deal
got
with
to
that
say about all
situation
of
right
this?
now. And my best friend has just had something horrific happen to them.
Yep.
And every other time something horrific has happened to Flick's bounced back pretty much immediately and just been like, yeah, we're just going to keep going. And then this time Flick's been like, I'm closing off. I'm not making eye contact with you. I'm walking into the corner and
I think I might be dead.
And so Clara was like, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. Everything I thought I knew about the world is wrong right now. So yeah, she's having a moment on the ground as well.
Okay. Daisy passed her sanity check.
No sanity check.
Oh,
Because
this is why I didn't want to bring her.
Yeah, because she is just essentially a commoner. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, great. So this woman just turned into a what? And
Yeah.
there's all these like, what? Okay.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then I saw a god.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, Ruby, all right. Okay. Belle?
I don't know what to do this time. And I'm just gonna sort of flop my head onto her shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and start, once she's offered me comfort, start absolutely like crying properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, And she puts her head into your shoulder and starts crying.
Yeah. I think I let myself cry for maybe another 30 seconds and then it becomes about my wife, who is in a situation that I definitely should have put my foot down and not let her be in, and just try and settle her down.
Mm-hmm. In the background, you see Toby slide over to Callie. Women, hey?
Okay.
And then once I feel that Daisy is sort of calmed down enough that I can leave her for a moment, I'm going to just give her a little kiss on the forehead. And then
Cute.
I'm going to strip my petticoat off and I'm going to use it to wrap the sword because I do not want to touch it until it's been identified, and sort of place it in the same sort of holster that my helm sits in, ready to go back.
As you wrap the sword,
Mm-hmm.
as your hands touch it, even around the petticoat, you still hear, and you put the sword away.
Oh, I didn't like that. I'm just going to look around at everybody. So we did the thing here, and we should probably we should probably go back. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Let's keep the energy high. Let's go, folks. Let's go.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We're going to go.
How about I take the lead? And you head back through the tower,
Yep.
and you make your way through. Are you still going in the same pairs as before?
No.
Are you going to try and go by yourself?
Yes. I am not being stuck in a confined space in my current state.
Yeah.
That is madness.
Then I'll go with Daisy again.
All right. And you make it down out of the tower and then head out to
Yeah, back to Hallwinter.
down into the main part of Hallwinter.
I would like to go to Cecil
Mm-hmm.
before we go to Zaz.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'd
Cecil
like
has
to go
magic, and I don't want to give Zaz the sword if it's.
So you're
So
going
you're
to go
leading
what I
us
mean?
into town.
you're going to go to Drumwillow.
Yeah, I'm going to go to. Yes.
The Drumwillow Town.
Yeah.
I am staying outside.
All right. As you head down, you hear some fiddle playing coming out of the window, and you open the door,
Yep.
and there is Cecil in the middle of a hoedown.
As in he's playing or he's dancing?
Oh, he's playing,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
like stamping on the ground.
Yeah.
He's playing Miley Cyrus's Hoedown Throwdown. He's popping it, locking it, and polka dotting it.
Oh, I've had a bad day. I'm just going to walk straight up to where Cecil is in the middle of this hoedown.
And
Cecil,
swing your partner round and round.
Cecil, I'm gonna need a moment, please.
Yes, keep swinging. You try and keep time, and yeehaw.
And I'm gonna.
Yeehaw.
We had that little small space that we had an aside earlier
yes.
with Lambert. I'm gonna pull him into there.
Okay, I'm sorry. We've been trying out some themed nights.
No, it's great. I love a good hoedown. It's just that something has happened, and I need you to kind of like zone in for a minute.
I'm in the zone.
And I'm going to pull the sword off my back, and I'm going to sort of lay it out in front of him.
Oh my.
Yeah, so we went up into the tower, You know, the tower?
Yes.
Yeah, we went up in
yes.
there.
Oh, okay.
And some things happened, and we found
Indeed.
this sword, and I touched it, and it made like a noise, but not a good noise, like an ominous noise. And Flick's kind of not able to do their magics to tell me whether or not the sword's bad, and I wondered if you had the kind of magics that could tell me whether or not the sword was bad.
Certainly. Is Flick okay?
Not sure. We're gonna take some R&R and see how she picks up and go from there.
Well, you let us know if you need anything.
Of course. Well, this is what I need.
All right. And he lays his hands on the sword and closes his eyes.
Yeah.
And casts Identify. This sword, there's ancient magics.
Okay.
It's some kind of artifact of the god Helm.
Okay. I think there's a possibility maybe up until about an hour ago it was a person,
Oh.
but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
But the person it might have been was the champion of the god Helm.
Oh, okay.
A guy called Thalavar. I don't know if you've heard.
Well, that's the name of the tower.
Yeah, he was kind of chilling up in there,
Okay.
trying to keep the spell plague magic away.
Mm-hmm. I'm sensing that there is a spirit moving within the sword.
Does it feel like if I pick it up and start using it, that maybe one day I will also get turned into this sword?
I don't know the will of the spirit that moves within the sword. I would say that it really does seem like a one-spirit sword.
Okay.
That it would be very cramped if you would both be in there at the same time.
All right. We've got someone
Yes,
back at the mines we need to talk to,
of course.
but I just don't think it's maybe a good idea to take the new powerful magic sword that we
yes.
found back to where they are. So
Okay.
could I maybe leave this with you and then I'll come back for it in a little bit
Yes.
and keep it safe?
So if anybody comes asking about this sword,
Unless it's me, you say, what sword?
what if... Okay, I'd just like to make sure I have all the details. What if Flick comes? Or that Toby? Or that nice young lady?
Callie?
Chloe? Callie, yes.
I am going to say, unless they're with me, you say what sword?
Okay.
I nod to Cecil and I go back to the group to take us back to talk to Des.
Okay. Flick, you have a moment?
Okay. I'm going to try to at least separate myself from the party for a little bit, just while Clarrybelle's gone. At least I know the range of my spell plague fire burst. I'd like to get well beyond that reach of the other party members.
As you move away, you notice Callie got to move and follow you. But Toby holds her back.
And I think I take a deep breath and I grab my staff and I try to cast Druidcraft on it.
Okay. You cast Druidcraft and you can feel the strain of casting that spell. And you have to push the druid through an ocean of flame within you. But you cast the spell and there is no issue with you casting the spell.
I come back to the group and we go back.
Yeah.
You head down into the tunnel. You hear raised voices.
Okay.
Back, foul demon! Send yourself to the 9 hells where you belong. Oh, God, just leave me alone, you fool!
And you hear some kind of brawl happening from down underground.
I run towards it.
Okay.
We kind of want to just let that play out.
As you run towards it, Clarrybelle, you kind of move down into this underground area, this small room, and you see no magic, Eric Threshold, the avatar of death, in this kind of slapping, tumbling fight with Zaz Tam rolling on the ground, pulling, grabbing cloaks and ripping off parts of the cloak.
I pull my maul and I slam the handle hard into the ground, sort of 3 times. Boys, stop that this instant.
He took what was rightfully mine.
I don't care. We went up to your little tower, Zaz, and we did what you asked us to do. And Eric, I'm very grateful for how you helped get everybody out at my wedding. But I have had enough today, and I cannot deal with this. So sit either side of the room, and I will deal with you one at a time. 1, 2.
Well, I guess,
3.
and they separate, and as Zaz moves, he turns, pokes his tongue out at Eric and says, well, she's your friend, not mine, and sits down on the ground.
And I'm going to turn and I'm going to go to Eric first.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry I raised my voice. It's been a really big day.
Brides are allowed to have moments, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yep. I was a bride today. That's the thing that happened.
Congratulations.
And I start crying.
Yeah, that's valid. That's so valid.
Okay. So, really, first question's important. Who did you get out, and where are they, and are they safe, and what happened?
Clarrybelle, I know this must be hard for you to hear, but this is information I dare not share with you.
Because of in my head, yeah.
The strongest weapon against the symphony is the perfect button at the end of a song. That ends them for good.
Yours is not the only ear here.
Oh, so if we maybe went into a room that Zaz wasn't in, you could tell me?
No,
it's okay.
There is safety, Clarrybelle.
Okay. Okay, so Zaz kind of showed up and is offering some kind of help, I think. And we're kind of going along with it. If you can just maybe let us finish our business with Zaz, I'm more than happy for you to oversee what's going on and make sure he's not up to any hinky business. I'm sure he is, but maybe don't, tear our one lead right now apart limb from limb is all I ask.
I understand your wishes. I will give you what time you need and then sort out my own business.
Thank you. Do you do hugs? No? Okay, write that wrong. And I'll just turn around and walk to Zaz.
Hello, and I suppose, whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you never been yelled at before?
You know what? No, I have not been yelled at. In Thay, I am highly respected.
Okay, well, you're not in Thay, and you came to us. And we did what you asked us to do. So stop it with the back talk. I've had enough today. I called down the corridor. Toby, Callie, Flick, Daisy, Zaz is here, and I figure we should probably just rip the Band-Aid off and talk to him now.
Do you really want me there?
Yes.
Sort of follow them. I'm kind of sticking close to Toby because I trust him to have the reflexes.
Well, this clearly just went stunningly, didn't it?
What did I say about the back talk, Zaz?
Bravo.
We went up the tower. We found Thalavar. We got a vision from Helm.
Tell me all about it.
Tell us about it, Janet. We talked to Thalavar, and he was kind of wrestling with the power of the spell plague, and it was kind of overtaking him, and then he was kind of holding it back, and he couldn't remember anything, but he knew he was Helm's champion, and then Flick tried to take the spell plague out of him, and I guess she did, but it normally goes a bit different. But while that was happening, Helm kind of appeared, but it was like a specter of him. We didn't just have a full god in the room, or maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe gods look kind of see-through. But he said something about his star and shadows at Gauntlgrim maybe, and Mystra falling, and that we needed to save Mystra and maybe light the star. I don't really know what that means. Callie, you remembered some things as well.
Yes, I mean, I think that about sums it up. A tear of Helm.
A tear, yeah.
For Mystra.
Yeah.
I believe that he cried when
she couldn't get back, was that? Or when he had to cast her down. That's right.
So he shed a tear in memorial of her. Well, it sounds like we've got a plan. Sounds like off to Gauntlgrim you go. We can sort out this tear star business.
Okay.
Fabulous.
The problem with that plan is
couple of days, I would say.
Where is Gauntlgrim? How do we get there? You keep just telling us to go.
I don't see how this is my problem.
If you want us to do it, you have to tell us how to do it. Tell us where to go to get to Gauntlgrim.
Well, all the tunnels are connected in the Sword Mountains. From here
all the way up to Icewind Dale. But very vaguely, who knows? I don't have the maps. Do I look like a map maker to you? These hands, these lily white hands. I think that if you made your way, say, to Mount Hoot now, and dug really, really far, you'd eventually hit Quarrel.
Well, it's more than I thought we'd get.
There you go. That's the information you needed.
Great.
I'm going to walk up to Zaz.
Oh.
Hey, Zaz.
Ms. Coldkind.
I'm going to ask you if you're telling us everything we need to know to do this quest successfully. And before you answer, just know that if you are withholding information from us, I will, even if it is my last act on this planet, burn your soul from every reality possible so that you cannot crawl your way back. Is that clear?
Darling, I'm a lich. If I was worried about my soul, I wouldn't have gone down this path. Not to pour water on your little spell plague fire, but I've got some bigger things going on.
I cast something at him.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. I just cast mad at him.
Okay.
I mean, you have a spell plague blight that you haven't used today.
Yeah.
And you also have the bottom of your abilities that I sent you?
Oh, this is true. This is true.
Spicy.
Let me have a look here. I'm going to call lightning on him
Mm-hmm.
at 4th level.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use my brand new spell plague abilities to automatically make that a nat 20.
What? What?
Not that it's technically I don't have to roll to hit him. He has to roll a dexterity saving throw, but whatever version of that works.
Okay, I'll allow
be
you to make him fail.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yep, sure.
Because it's not going to kill him. It just might at least do something to him.
Beautiful. You also add 1d12 fire damage
Yes,
as
I
well,
Hey. Oh, that's so spicy.
which is also doubled as part of the rest of the doubling.
Okay, so that's... I rolled 30 on the dice.
So 60?
So 60 points of lightning damage. Technically, yeah, it's a concentration spell, but I think I just do it to make a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make your point,
Yeah.
this bolt of lightning, can you roll a d2, please?
Yep.
What is happening?
1.
Okay, you take 15 points of damage as the effort to cast the spell draws the spell plague from you.
Yeah, I think I just, not even thinking about it, just sort of my arm like whips out.
Yeah.
And without using any of my usual like spell casting focuses, any material components that I would usually use, I think it just bursts forth from my skin essentially and hits him square in the chest.
Okay, he's quite shocked.
Literally.
Oh. And he seems confused, and in one kind of little second, you see his eyes uncertainly dart over at Eric. And you see Eric's eyes look shocked back at him.
Ooh.
And then they reset.
Ooh.
Can I do a quick insight to see how worried they look?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to insight that.
6.
Mine's more, I want to clock what Yurik's feeling in that moment.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Natural, where was that?
Yeah, where was that last session?
Natural 20 for a 28 insight.
Hey.
Okay.
Don't mess with me.
You look at Eric, and there's a read of shock, surprise, uncertainty, and there's kind of a, you think, that's not supposed to happen.
Ooh.
She's not supposed to do that. I suppose you're going to put your powers to good use then, on your way to Quarrel Grey.
Anything else?
I think you'll do a wonderful job.
Okay.
Great. I'm going to turn around and walk back over to Eric. So, all yours. Just a quick, do you know where Woody ended up?
You should be around.
Great. I'm going to turn to Flick and the others. I mean, if anyone knows their way through the tunnels under the mountains, it's going to be him. So I think that's probably our next point of call.
No, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Action stations.
Yeah, I'm going to go, I guess, to where I think maybe Woody would have taken himself.
Eric, my parents aren't around, right?
Your parents are not with us. That's great.
Thanks.
And I go.
Okay. As you're walking, Clarrybelle,
Yeah.
Toby grabs you
Oh, okay.
and kind of just pulls you off to the
Yeah.
side and kind of lets everybody else.
I'll let it happen.
Okay, so all of that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Shocking. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Flick.
Yeah,
What's
it's a
happening?
lot.
However, we all saw that other thing, right?
The
with, this guy who was at your wedding.
Eric. Yeah.
Lovely. And Zaz.
They made kind of eyes at each other.
There was a moment. They were fighting when we came in.
Yeah.
But then when Flick cast a spell, there was a moment.
I think maybe it's like that old power that are adversaries, but also kind of because they're both the old power, they're also a little bit on the same side.
Yes.
Is the vibe I got, but I didn't really understand much more than that.
Okay, because I saw that you saw.
Yeah.
And I thought these ladies are people who follow up. Now I see that things have changed.
I'll be honest with you, Toby. Flick is kind of the one who sees stuff like that, and I follow her lead.
Okay.
And
this was not an attack on you at all. Okay?
No, I didn't think it was. What I'm saying is that I kind of, maybe it would be good for you to know that this is the first time where I really don't actually know what I'm doing anymore. And I'm kind of just feeling, I'm just kind of flying around a bit untethered. And I don't want to put it on Flick because obviously Flick's got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a whole half of our deal that she normally does that right now I don't think she can do, and I don't know how to do that. And so I'm just doing the bit that I do, which is walk head first into what I think maybe the solution could be until it works.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that there's something to follow up, I don't know how to do that. I've never had to do that bit.
He puts his hand on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Now, I could never say that she was as uncertain and worrisome as you, but I see Silda as a leader when I look at you.
I stuck right.
She was never very good with people, and you are.
Okay, good. I hope that was where that sentence was going.
But she got to where she was because she had a reputation of putting her hair down and pushing it through walls.
Yeah, I always admired that about her.
And yes, we did lose her, but I think that she always made the right decision by focusing on what she thought was right.
Okay.
And Flick is a wonderful person and also an incredible leader.
She's the best person.
Right, but, she's been going through a lot. And from what I've been hearing around the place, that's made her into a bit of a loose cannon. And I trust Flick with my life, absolutely. But I also trust you with my life completely. And so I want you to know that it's not just the Gold Kind show. It is also the Troll Reader show.
Do you do hugs?
Of course.
And I have a big hug.
Okay, yes, beautiful moment. Also, since we're being open and honest, really worried about Callie. Really seems to be not really sure what's going on there. She seemed to have kind of there's a connection between her and Flick.
Yeah, I don't, is that, are they?
I don't know, but I think that Callie might think it was, and then it might have been blossoming, and now Flick once again.
Yeah.
And so that's...
I mean, Callie me and her never really managed to get on the same page.
What are you guys doing here sneaking around corners? Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Callie, how are you?
I'm going great.
Okay, good.
To Gauntle Green?
Yeah, I need to go. I want to find Woody. I think maybe he might know.
That sounds great.
Do you want to come with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'll start heading with Callie towards where I think we'll find Woody.
So, Daisy. How are you holding up?
And what about you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I can tell you've been through some stuff.
We don't have to.
No. I mean, look, we kind of had some time before the wedding to...
Yeah.
But now...
Yeah.
I don't want to let bygones be bygones, but, there's...
You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll... Are you fixing to go back to your family for a bit now? Or are you going to... Are you going to chill with us?
What are you trying to say? Has Clarrybelle been talking to you?
We haven't talked since.
So, she disappears for 2 years and now you're the new Daisy or whatever. And so it's like, Daisy who? I'll get married, sure, but then I've got to go off to Goondlegram or whatever.
Okay, you're bringing in an energy here that I feel like is slightly unwarranted.
Slightly unwarranted? Oh, it's like, you just want to go home?
I
don't want to go home.
Okay, then
I want to
don't
be here
go
with my
home.
wife.
Fine, then say that. You don't have to get all weird about it and start accusing me of stuff that I haven't done. In the meantime, why are you so angry at Clarrybelle anyway? She's been nothing but supportive with you.
Nothing but support. She told me to go home. She
No.
told me to stay
Did
here.
she tell you to go home, or did she ask if you wanted to go home?
You know she's too nice to say what she really
No,
thinks.
okay. From my personal experience, and I know that's not as much as you've had, but Clarrybelle doesn't mince her words. She says what she means, and if anything, she just wants everyone around her to be safe and make their own decisions. And so she asked you to make a decision. I think that that's because she legitimately wanted to know what you thought. I know it's easy to overthink things in relationships with people you've been around or maybe not seen for a long time, and to overthink interactions, but sometimes it's just as simple as all that, you know? You just have to trust that you know the person that you love.
I don't know you. I'm not having this conversation with you. You may know Clarrybelle, but you don't know me.
You're right, I don't, and I don't think I ever will, and that's okay, but I need you to be around for Clarrybelle, okay? I need you to be that supportive person, because soon enough, I don't think I'm going to be around to do that anymore. So you don't have to worry about me getting in your way, all right? I just need you to be there for her, okay?
And she puts her hands up and she walks away. So Clarrybelle,
Yep.
Callie,
Mm-hmm.
and Daisy, you're all going to be going together.
Daisy's going to follow us.
Daisy's going to walk with you.
Okay, sure.
Flick, are you also following?
I start sort of half-heartedly following them, and then I go, well, they'll call me if they sort of need me there when the plan's actually planning and happening. And so I think I'm like, the best thing I can do right now is be away from innocent bystanders. And so I just find a little alcove and plop myself in it.
You arrive at where you expect Woody to be, Clarrybelle. with your
Woody?
team. Hi-ho, the DDO. Here we go, and friends. Oh, hello. And as you pull up, it's Woody.
Yep.
And 12 small chairs behind him.
Oh my goodness, are these your kids?
Yes. Keeps us busy, that's for sure.
Oh, they're fantastic. I'm so glad you're safe.
How can I assist?
So we need to get to Gonogram.
Gonogram.
And we've been talking to a guy called Zaz Tam.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that all the tunnels in the mountains are connected.
That's true.
And that maybe near Mount Hotenau, there might be a way down.
Oh, now Mount Hotenau.
Yeah.
I can get you there.
So you could get us to Mount Hotenau.
Absolutely. Gonogram, not familiar.
Okay. Well, that's a start, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to Hotenau for how many of us can you fit at once?
Maybe 3?
Okay. And how long does the trip to Mount Hotenau take? At a speed that won't kill us.
Oh, okay. Well, that... well, okay. I would say something maybe an hour.
Oh, okay. So you could maybe, it wouldn't be unreasonable to like take a couple of us and then go back and take another.
No. None
Yeah.
of you get travel sick, do you?
I don't.
I'm
think so.
sure it would be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I can tell
we
you all
don't.
about my children.
Yeah, I would love to hear about them. We need to rest and figure out what the plan is, but probably tomorrow, if everything goes correctly, we'll be taking a trip to Mount Hotenau.
Tomorrow first thing, I'll be here.
Thank you so much for being willing to do this for us.
And I hope wedded life is good to you too. And he disappears.
Okay.
Every interaction is a joke.
All right. That's something. We can get to Mount Hotenau.
Sounds good.
Callie, do you want to maybe go find Flick and let Flick know that we'll be heading to Mount Hotenau in the morning?
Not a problem. Can do.
Yeah.
She just scurries off.
Hi.
Hey.
So I realized that this has not been exactly the most conventional of starts to a marriage. And I apologize for that. And I think in my head, everything always runs so fast that I just kind of assumed, even after 2 years, that we'd just kind of fall back in sync and that you'd be on the same page as me and that we just, I'd say things and they'd make sense to you. And I realized that was drastically unfair. Of course, that's not what was going to happen. And that I should have taken the time to slow down and that we should have had a moment to be us and to figure out how the two of us together are going to face what's happening right now, because that's the promise that we made each other when we got married, is that we're not one person and another person anymore. We're both of us as a team. And I guess maybe that's what I want to do now. I want to figure out how the two of us as a team are doing this, because that's what this is now. It's you and me. That's the promise that I made, and I'm keeping it because I love you more than anything.
Well, I love you too more than anything. But it's not just you and me and our marriage, is it? It's you and me and the spell plague and Gauntlegrim and your sad, dying friend who's nosing in.
Excuse me?
When are we supposed to have our time to talk?
Now.
What,
That's
now?
Yes.
Now.
Sit down with me now and talk to me.
Sit down with you now in some cave next to a mine
It doesn't
track.
have to be in a cave. We could go outside. We can find somewhere to sit and talk. What is happening right now?
Well, everybody's telling me to go home.
No.
Everybody's telling me maybe you
Daisy,
should.
no one wants you to go home. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
really? Well, that's what you said.
No, what?
And that's what Flick said. Flick's
What?
like,
When did-
why don't you go home? Have you thought about going home?
That doesn't. Okay.
Maybe I don't want to go home.
I don't want you to go home. So that's a really, really easy solution, is that you don't go home because I don't want you to and you don't want to.
Well, that is not how I was made to feel.
Then I'm sorry that I've made you feel that way, because that's not at all how I feel. I want you here. I just
feel like we're rehashing old ground here.
Okay.
We had the same conversation earlier today.
Okay. Then what's the conversation we need to have?
It's a conversation where there is no world-ending thing following us and people dying and all of this. So it sounds like what we need to do is we need to sort this out and we need to do this, and then we can move on with our lives and have that conversation then.
Okay.
So let's not waste any time and let's get this done.
Daisy, if I'm going to be worrying over every word that I say to you in the meantime of that plan, if how I'm feeling and you're feeling right now, if that's how we're both going to be feeling for the entire time until we save the world, that's going to kill me. Is there a way that you try and be my Daisy and I try and be your Clarrybelle, and then we can let all these ugly emotions come back in when this is all over? Because I feel like I'm losing everybody all at once very quickly, and I don't know how to do that.
Then let's not be Daisy and Clarrybelle and let all this weigh us down. Let's just be two people going on this adventure. You, me, Flick, whoever all your friends are coming, and we're all treated the same and equal, and we'll just go from there. I'm just a member of the team, and I'll be that to you, and I'll be that to everybody else.
If that's what you think, let's do that.
And she begins to walk off.
Clarrybelle starts crying again. Yep, that's fine. My wife is just like, yeah, okay, we're just going to be teammates and nothing more until the world has stopped ending.
Treat it as a fun little role play.
Yeah.
Fall in love all over again.
What would you like to do next, team?
I think we sleep.
Yeah, I think it's a sleep and talk to each other in the morning situation. I don't think
I think we
anyone's
sleep
going to
and
have
we
a
go.
constructive conversation. Oh, I'd like to go and get the sword.
Okay,
And then sleep.
You go and get the sword?
Yeah. It's still in the petticoat. I'm not
Still in
touching
the
it
petticoat?
properly yet.
Okay. And you take a long rest, and you assemble at dawn.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Woody can get us to Mount Hope now. Great. I mean, we're looking for the tier? Is that what we're looking for at Gauntlegram? I have no idea what we're looking for. Okay.
Or the star.
Or the star. Yeah, okay.
Any one of the buzzwords that was mentioned in the God
yeah.
speech.
Yeah. I'm going to bring the sword.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay to carry it, or you want me to?
Yeah. So I had Cecil kind of magic at it, and he says that there's probably a soul in there, but we don't really know who. It could be Thalavar, or it could be something else.
Mm-hmm.
And he said
Have
that
you touched it yet?
not properly. I touched it through my petticoat, and it went at me, and it was kind of
It went at you.
Well, it sounds like I think we've got enough going on right now. We should probably keep that away.
Yeah, it's kind of my because Cecil said that it maybe belonged to Helm or is blessed by Helm or something, and we're kind of looking for a thing that Helm told us to look for.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is bring it along, and if we really can't find the thing, to then maybe try touching it as a way to commune with Helm, or as maybe like a compass kind of situation where I hold it and it points me in the right direction. But like last resort, because we don't want to touch swords that make noises at us.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we figure out ride order and
I'll be going with Flick.
okay.
Callie's tapping for us.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'll ride with Daisy. So I guess Toby, whichever cart you want to.
And Toby's just going to stand in
Such
there.
a loaded gun. Oh my gosh.
Toby, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind keeping you in arm's reach. We got an understanding.
Yes. Yes, of
Toby's
course.
not killing you.
I would not put that pressure on Toby. However, as we have seen, my emotions are perhaps in overload. And so if they continue to spike, I would like to have a helping hand nearby.
Okay.
Someone whom I trust to do what they need to do, which unfortunately is only one of you.
Look, I'm not going to be talking in riddles. I feel like we need this openness
Yeah.
right now. Yes?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If need be, I will kill Flick.
Thank you.
Okay. However, as you said, sword, last resort.
Yeah.
Right? We have lots of other things to try.
Yeah.
Lots of other tools available to us. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to put that decision on anybody else. I'm rather unattached. So I'm happy to remain detached in that way.
Okay. I'm not particularly good for looking for things. So maybe if you three go first
Yes.
as the scouting party, because you are good at looking for things, and then
Sounds
we'll
good.
come later.
Okay.
We'll see you there. Be safe, okay?
You too.
All right.
All of you.
Okay.
I hop in with the two really tall people.
As you're getting closer, kind of Callie moves closer towards you and she reaches into her kind of pack.
Step back. I'm like, what?
Okay. Uh-huh.
I managed to scrounge out a couple of extra rations for you. And she opens your pack and kind of like puts them in her pocket and closes it.
Oh, okay.
I figured we weren't really using them.
Yeah, I don't know if I eat anymore. I haven't tested that. But thank you.
That's okay.
Thanks, Woody.
So let me tell you about Splinter. So he's the eldest and he's a real character.
Hang on, let me write that down. Splinter.
Yeah.
Shay says he has a rather sharp personality.
Terrible.
Okay, you arrive at Mount Houghton now. Do you want to do a pre-look before they arrive, or we're just going to
Yeah, I think me and Callie are probably, and Toby, being the eagle eyes, are probably looking for a way down. It's a 25 from Flick.
And they both have 5, so they don't see anything. But you, having been to Gauntle Grim before,
Yep.
Yep.
you're walking along and you begin to kind of like rub your hand along the ground and the walls to kind of see if there's anything. And the blue flame that burns within you, in your hands as you touch, shifts to red.
Oh, that's new.
And you can feel the flame of the primordial. It's not a hot or cold situation where it's like, oh, they're burning more.
Yeah.
It's you being led.
Great.
You just instinctively know where to go and what to do, and you begin to kind of move through that.
Cool.
What would you like to do with that information? Would you like to keep going or hold back for the rest of your team?
I wait for the rest of the group to catch up, but I say, I know where to go.
And you all arrive together at the bottom of Mount Hurt now.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just as a flavor, I'm not in my wedding dress anymore.
Yeah, I
we've
thought
changed.
that might be kind of reasonable.
Yeah.
It's this way.
Oh, great. If you're heading up, I might actually march near the back.
Yeah.
Daisy moves herself towards the front.
Please keep a minimum 15-foot distance from the living flame person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Callie is like 12, 13 feet.
I feel so bad for her.
She's just on your side.
The trauma of everybody in this episode is wild.
Yeah. I'm trying not to cause her further pain.
Flick, you follow your interior light that is leading you towards you.
This little light of mine,
I'm
gonna let it shine.
As you welcomed the primordial
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
you, you're being drawn back home in a way.
Oh, man.
And as you walk, tunnels seem to almost appear before you. That it's just, all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to turn right here. And nobody else could see that was there, but you found a way. And as you're walking, you slowly are plunged into darkness.
Mhm.
And Clarrybelle, you kind of lose everybody else in the group.
Oh,
And you
okay.
hear coming from in front of you the clipping of boots on stone walking towards you.
I draw my maul.
And standing in front of you is a tall male figure with kind of this like mottled purple skin. Seemingly out of nowhere, they pull up a chair and place it in front of them. Have a seat, Clarrybelle. and he sits on a chair that you could have sworn wasn't there before. He's relaxed. He doesn't seem to be in a combat position.
If I sit down, is that chair going to do something hinky like, walls had hands somewhere else and we've fallen through a lot of portals? If I sit in the chair, am I going to fall through a portal?
I'm just here for a chat.
Yeah, I'll sit in the chair, but I'm not putting my mole away.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, I'm sitting. Let's chat.
The symphony isn't something you just walk away from, Clarrybelle.
Oh, gosh. Okay, yeah. No, keep going.
Now, we've been willing to give you some space, give you some time. It really was a wonderful wedding, and I'm sorry that we had to do what we had to do. It really wasn't about you or Daisy.
That makes me feel so much better about it.
It really was.
You got away with words.
It was just a hot spot of activity. And, there were many really important figures that we were looking to move along, shift, bring on side.
And did you? Or was it just a waste of time and I could have had my wedding?
Your fire has always been charming. That's what we've liked about you. And that's what brought you to us in the first place.
Can we get to the point of this conversation? What do you want?
I'm here because you seem to be at the heart of all of this. You're here searching for the tear, the star, all those wonderful words that fell from the eye of Helm, holding the magic of Mystra as she died, her last breath, the heart of the spell plague.
And what do you care about all that?
The spell plague's causing a lot of issues around, as I'm sure you've seen. Destruction everywhere. There's really a vacuum of power now that the goddess of magic has disappeared.
And you want that vacuum? You're wanting to jump in there?
Of course.
Okay.
We all want to jump in there.
And what does that mean for the world if it's you?
What does it mean for the world if it's Zaz? What does it mean for the world if it's Eric? Or Rohini? Who can possibly say who's the winner?
But you're not helping each other? You're both vying for... Is the spell plague like... Okay, while we're here, let me ask you some questions. Spell plague, does it have like a personality? Is it like a thing that also has an intention? Or is it just like the magic that was left over when Mystra died kind of vibe?
Wow, you really are behind, aren't you?
I don't know about magics. I'm trying to catch up as best as I can.
I don't know about damn magics. It all comes back, baby.
Magic comes from the weave that was created and maintained by Mystra. When Mystra died, everything was thrown into tumult.
Okay.
Pieces were fractured, things were broken, we didn't know where we were going or what to do.
Okay.
Now, of course, the weave is so powerful that it just continued, but...
So that's the spell plague?
The spell plague
weave
is
without
fractured.
Mystra?
Correct.
Okay.
A natural force that nobody has the power to control. But of course now, thanks to your knowledge and your friends and your connections, we know about the tear.
Great. Okay. So if someone gets the tear, they might have the power to do what Mystra used to do and control the weave?
That's what we're hoping.
So then the person who controls the weave is the new Mystra, which is what you want to be.
Not me personally, but those I work for.
Well, you know what I mean. Like the symphony wants to be the new Mystra. Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
Okay. And you're here because you want me to do that for you? Is that the point of this conversation?
In a roundabout way, absolutely, that would be...
In a roundabout way, just tell me, do you want me to get the tier for the symphony?
We want a seat at the table. You say you're working for Zaz Tam.
We have an understanding right now. He's giving us information and we're doing things. I don't know if I'm working for him.
You have an understanding with Eric Threshail. You had an understanding with Mordenkainen. That's why I'm here. I want to see how we can work together so that you can find us a space amongst all of your friends who have walked into the door of Gauntlgrim.
And what will you do with that space?
Well, we'll just vie for the opportunity to have the tier for ourselves.
No, I mean, if you get the tier, if you become the new Mystra, what is your plan? What does the world look like with you in control of the weave?
Magic that is safe and sustainable and accessible to everybody.
That was a natural 20 inside. That only becomes a 21, guys. Don't get excited.
But it's a nat 20. That's exciting.
Okay. I mean, what are you looking for?
If there is something more malicious in that, in the way that, like, fascists will be like, yes, we make society safe and happy for everybody, but it's fascism kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
If it's fascism, you have to tell us.
Tell
Nathan.
us. Legally, you have to tell us. If you're a fascist, if you're doing a fascism, Nathan, you have to tell us.
If you're doing a fascism, you have to tell us.
He seems to genuinely believe what he is saying.
Okay.
I can't, from an inside check, tell you whether or not you think
Yeah, exactly.
that there might be a
Yeah.
fascism thing going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can interpret whatever you want.
Yeah.
All I'm asking is that you give us the same opportunity that you gave Morton Kanan, the same opportunity that you're giving Zaz Tam. You may not be aware that you're giving them those opportunities, and that's okay. But at least we're trying to be upfront with you. Isn't that what you've wanted the whole time?
I can't promise you any opportunity until I talk to my friends. I'm done making decisions behind everybody's back. If you want a seat at the table, everyone has to agree that you belong there.
Then what do you want to happen? A round table? A dinner?
You got 2 chairs out of nowhere and we're having a conversation right now. Why can't we do that with Flick and Toby and Callie and Daisy?
As I said, what do you want?
I guess I just said what I wanted. I want to sit down with all of us so that they can make this decision too.
Well, thank you for communicating that so calmly and so clearly. It's important that we use our voices to be heard. And all of your friends, Flick, you are also there, appear. Friends, have a seat. Clarybella's called us here today.
I think that's not an entirely fair explanation of the situation. So purple guy with the symphony showed up, wants us to let them have something to do with Mistress Tyr because that gives you the power to control the weave, which is the spell plague, which Mr. normally controls, but then she died and it kind of went all hinky, and that's what that is. And I'm kind of done being the puppet that goes along with their plans behind everybody's backs. So,
So you want us to kill him, or?
I mean, look, if that's the choice you make, then I guess I'll back you up. But right now it's just, ask any questions you want about this situation because I'm so done with them being in my head whispering for me to betray everybody. So here we go.
And here we are. Well, hello. Hi, my name's Callie. Been part of this group for a while.
Hi, Callie.
What can we call you? Call me the Symphony.
Really?
Yes, that doesn't really roll.
Not like the conductor or like the choir master.
Yeah, there were some way cooler opportunities for
Yeah.
names you could have gone with.
Want to workshop that, bud?
Let's be clear. I am no choir master. I am no conductor. I am simply a part of this as you all are. Specifically, your friend Clarrybelle.
The melody.
I am not the melody. I am merely a harmony singing along with the rest of the symphony.
Cool. Harmony. We're going to call you Harmony.
If that's what you need to do, then I support that. Okay, Harmony, so
Yes, Kelly.
it sounds like you've asked to take the tier. All we're asking for is access. To come along with you openly and freely. You don't have to do anything. We're already with Clarrybelle the whole time. But allowing us a conduit, as it were, would be safer for you and would be safer for her. We have lost people before, and we'd like to avoid that in this situation.
So me being a conduit, does that mean you take over and I'm not really there while you're there? Because I don't want to do that.
No, we'll just move through you. Think of yourself as these tunnels that you travel between. We will just walk from where we are through you into Gortle Rim. And if you're unwilling, we can still do that. But some manipulation may be required, and some of that may result in permanent damage to you. And we are willing to make that sacrifice. However, you've been incredibly helpful, and we feel like we owe you the clarity of this opportunity.
How much does he believe that they owe her anything?
Roll a insight check.
27.
Still not high enough.
Oh.
Almost.
So close.
Hold on. Oh, wait, no, I have word. Never mind. I could ask him to roll lower.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, go on. I'm going to use, I think this is important. I use Cosmic Omen. He takes a d6 from that.
Takes a decent. Ooh, that will do it. Okay, that was a 5 off it, which brings his down to 25.
Yep.
From 30. He doesn't care at all. It is more convenient to keep you alive because then you can be a part of everything afterwards. But if he has to kill you, they've killed so many people now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think I just go, not to butt in on this conversation too
No,
much.
please. That's what I
But,
got you here to do.
I think you need us just about as much as we need you. Not a lot.
Okay.
And I would prefer if you and the rest of your team sort of were quiet forever. So until I can make that happen, I'd say, come at it the hard way, buddy. You deserve to put some effort in at this point.
Okay. Anybody else? Hi, I'm Daisy. I mean, I'm not really keen on, Clarrybelle dying, I suppose. That seems like a negative overall for me. What's that?
She bows and steps back. Thank you. I yield the rest of my time.
Okay. It seems we have a pretty split room.
So what I'm saying to everybody that's not Harmony, I want you to take me out of the equation for a minute, like Flick just did, and tell me, knowing what we know about the symphony, do we want to try and stop this right now? Because that's the question that's being asked here.
I think I'm going to have the unpopular opinion here. And I think that, as you asked, in a leading way, I think their seat is already at the table. I would say, and I don't want to say this in front of you, Harmony, but it seems like there's no way we can avoid that it would be beneficial for us knowing what we know to be there. So if we can allow them to join the table and we're there to guide it in a particular way or stop them or do any of those things, that's better than them killing every single one of us when they arrive and then there's no one to stop them.
Okay, one yay, one nay. Callie.
I think that, it seems like they need us more than we need them. I think that Flick's right. I think that Flick has a good idea there.
Cool. Daisy.
I think that I'm going to not say anything because to say that I can take you out of the situation is...
You want us to be teammates? This is what that means. This is the question. This is what we do, equal parts.
Well, then I think Toby's right.
Okay.
That sounds like 2 in the I category and 2 in the nay category.
Which means it's my decision, and that's what I was trying to avoid. Okay.
Let me weigh in. I think this is an amazing opportunity. I think that Toby is incredibly wise. Look, there is no risk to you. If we're going to be there anyway, surely you want the power to lead us in. I say that's 3 yeses and 2 nos.
Flick, I know this isn't fair because I said no when you asked me to do this for you. If I let them at the table and you think for even a moment that was a bad idea, I'm the conduit. So that's a pretty easy way to get them not at the table anymore. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I make eyes at the guy like, you're lucky I don't punch you in the face right now.
Okay. Be at the table.
And the darkness fades and you are still walking down Gauntlet Grim. And that's where we're going to call the session.
You've been listening to Best Left Forgotten. You can find and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Best Left Podcast and on our Best Left Forgotten Facebook page, where we post updates, info, and additional content. Music by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Full song list and additional artists can be found in the episode description. Cover art by Cattywampus, who can be found on Fiverr. Thanks to Jess Wolfendale, our editor, Miriam Feats, our social media manager, and Nathan Quadrio, our GM and producer. If you enjoyed our podcast today, please leave a review and tell your friends.